Hi, it's Julie here at Great Golf Solutions, and in this video lesson we're now going to get from the top of your swing and we're going to start the downswing and talk about what you want to feel at impact. So remember, I'll just go briefly over what we talked about. We've talked about the takeaway and having your shoulders and your arms be an extension to the toe of your club, and having your left shoulder push the club away, keeping your body still. Remember, you're going to rotate around your spine. Here, the club's down your target line and parallel to the ground, toes pointed up. So it's a very neutral, square position. And then as you continue doing this, remember we talked about this being a perfect position in terms of the hinge or the cock in your wrists, and then it's just a complete rotation of your shoulders. You want to feel your right arm. It's going to be almost at a 90-degree angle. You want to have higher hands to increase the width in your swing. And your hands are going to feel like they're in line with your right ear or just behind your head. So now as we get into this position, what I notice with a lot of my students is this is where it all can go wrong. So what I want to get you to feel or help you understand is kind of a good starting point. A lot of people will say, oh, you got to start your downswing with your upper body. You got to start your downswing with your hands. I like to have my students, now that we've coiled with our shoulders and our hips, and what we need to do is we need to be able to release that coil. So I actually like to have my students think of starting the downswing with their hips, and then their arms are going to speed up and follow through to your target. So what I mean by that is as you get up here to the top of your swing, if you're going to start with your hands, this is what can be a cause to a bad swing, is if you start with your hands, a lot of people will start fishtailing out. You'll hear that referred to quite often, is your hands get too active and they throw the club out in front of you, and then you've lost this whole hinge. And if you lose the hinge, you have no way to really generate any club head speed. So by maintaining the hinge, and if you start clearing out, you take your right knee that's really coiled and tight and you start driving through with your knees and releasing this left hip, your arms will follow, and as you come down, you pretty much want to get in the same position to where your takeaway was. So the club is coming down parallel. See how I've maintained this angle right here? By maintaining that angle, and if you have the ability to release the club head, that's where you generate club head speed. And when you generate club head speed, you are able to hit the ball a different distance with each club. So your top of your backswing, you want to take your knees. My right knee is now going to be my trigger, and it's going to start driving my knees. My left hip is going to clear, so now I have ample room for my club head, or for my club to swing. My bodies have a good pathway to swing. If I didn't clear my hips, my arms would get stuck into my body, so they wouldn't have this feel. They wouldn't have this alley to swing back and through, okay? So you take the top of your backswing, start releasing, driving your knees, driving your hips through, and your arms and hands are going to follow. So it's going to look something like this. Top of your backswing, I'm going to start releasing my coil, driving, my arms are going to follow, and I'm going to release the club head. As you start swinging down, like I said, this angle is very important to maintain and keep as long as you can. It's a trigger. So as you start your downswing, and see how I can maintain this angle, the longer I maintain it and the more I can snap it through right at the ball, right at impact, and follow through, the more club head speed I'm going to generate. So even if I had a good top of my backswing and I maintain, but I started to lose it here, I might make good contact with the ball, but I just wouldn't have that club head speed. And A lot of my students will come to me and say they struggle out on the golf course because they tend to hit every club the same distance, whether it's their driver, their 5-iron, or their 7-iron. And a lot of that, most of that has to do with the fact that they don't have a good understanding of club head speed and how to generate it, and then they also don't know how to do it. So I am a big, huge proponent of club head speed because that's helped me get to where I am today. I mean, with regards to club head speed, what I want to tell you is that I'm a big proponent of club head speed and feeling it and understanding it. It's allowed me to get to where I am today. And I mean, growing up with an older brother who's a golf pro, I always wanted to outdrive him, and that was one way that I could actually keep up with the guys and play golf from the same tees as them. It's not because I have this great, amazing ability, but I truly am a firm believer that by having good club head speed and able to have quick hands through the ball, I'm able to get good enough distance, and I can outdrive a lot of the guys that I play with. So, which is great for me, not so great for them. But as you come down, maintain, and then this motion of your hands releasing needs to be at impact. This is definitely something that you are going to want to practice out on the driving range and get an understanding for. I would definitely encourage you to practice feeling club heads or feeling the snap and release at impact with a more lofted club to start with, or even practicing on a tee to get an idea of that. So maintain at impact. Your left hip is cleared and you're now in a position to finish your swing. So take these tips, practice them at home, go out to the driving range, and let's move on to the follow-through.